Even more.
Yo, okay, now you can hear us. There we go.
I was just more depressed that
welcome to the podcast. I'm gonna have to edit all this out.
You're more depressed at what?
my facts are going to live up to the legend.
Alright, we're gonna reintroduce it.
Live up
We've been
the
recording for 20 minutes.
Okay, guys, it's felt like this. Okay,
wait, hold up. Cheeks. Hold on a second. I'm gonna reintroduce the podcast. Hi, welcome to the podcast. This is the first episode.
Asshole.
Let's go. I know. I'm sorry. I was rushing.
The fucking.
We've been recording for 20 minutes.
Now nobody's gonna know the story of the bear.
Tell the story of the bear again. That was kind of interesting. I want to hear it again.
No, but no. Only you thought it was as great as I did.
I was gone for half the time you were talking about the
great minds think
Let
alike.
me hear it.
This bear is a fucking party animal legend, and he also literally helped shell people with artillery.
Today's episode is about fun facts.
Yeah, would be about fun facts. I just told an entire story, and this dumbass doesn't even know how to record.
Do you know that half your foot size is your dick size?
Yeah, whatever he said.
Yo, that's why LeBron James has such huge feet.
I'm packing a good 3.5 on me right
God.
now.
I'm packing a solid 10.5.
Wait, what about Squish?
Um,
Does that mean her dick is as long as half her foot?
I'm
gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say that's
You know,
probably
they
not
never
her
talk
fault.
about girls.
Alright, so you guys know Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about Stephen Hawking?
You guys know
He's
Doctor
dead.
Who?
Doctor Who, yes.
Yeah, you guys know what Doctor Who is? Do you know what Doctor Who is?
I know what Doctor Who is, yes.
Yeah, there's an alien, right, called a Dalek.
Yeah.
And they yell and shit. Stephen Hawking used to put a paper bag on his head and chases kids around saying exterminate.
What?
Yeah, that's an actual
Can you
fact.
repeat that?
He puts a paper bag on his head, right?
And he would just start saying exterminate on his little laptop.
Yeah, and then he chases around his
But wait, when did he have the time to do this? Isn't he dead?
Yeah, no, he's
Michael
dead.
Jackson would
He did
chase
this
Dead now.
when-
Hey, he's exterminating from the heavens now.
You guys ever hear about the time fucking Albert Einstein roasted the fuck out of Marilyn Monroe?
Oh shit, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I got this. Okay, so one time they're
Alright,
at
here
a
we
party
go.
together because there was just a bunch of famous people chilling together at a party. Marilyn Monroe's like, genius idea. And she walks up to Albert Einstein and she goes, hey, why don't we get married and have a child? That way it can look like me and it can be as smart as you. We can have the perfect child. And he just goes, nah, I'd rather not risk it being the other way around that looks like me and is as dumb as you.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
He's roast the fuck out of him.
Woo, that's good.
Just roasted Marilyn Monroe's dumbass. Rest in peace, even though she is dead.
Yo, okay, let me reintroduce. Hey, I'm Pasta. This is T.
Did you fuck up the audio again?
Yuma, and Cheeks. No, I forgot to introduce us after I fixed the audio.
My name is Thundercheeks, and I like long walks and the beach.
My name is Pasta, and I like pasta.
Nobody gives a fuck what you like.
My name is T.
Well, you know what?
my name's Juckle and I'm
That's
black.
y'all.
He's not
My
black.
name is Squish, and I'm Thundercheeks' daughter.
That's my daughter.
She also has
daughter.
phantom sense.
What the fuck is with you and my Phantom Sin?
Because it's funny.
It's not.
man,
it's funny to
I'm not
me.
gonna say a word.
It's illegal.
It's just
Alright.
Funny to
my
me,
names
alright?
and stuff.
But today we are speaking just
Yo,
about
T, I'm
fun
gonna tell you
facts
about
and
it.
fun stories.
I'm gonna tell T about it.
No,
Go ahead, I don't
don't
care.
tell me about it.
It's a podcast. We're all supposed to be talking about the
Well,
same
podcast.
thing, and I'm the guest star in this
Yeah.
shit. I gotta
Oh, yeah,
remind y'all.
Yuckle.
Yuckle,
How you doing
got any
today,
fun
Yuckle?
facts or fun
How we
stories from
doing?
history?
Guys. I have a story, right, about our special guest.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, these T and Yuckle know each other in real life, and I'm about to know them in real life too. because I'm about to sneak over to
Just
their
gonna go
houses. I
right.
mean, I'm gonna meet them one day.
Do you give me
hopefully.
permission to tell the
Pasta,
story?
literally
Yuckle?
everybody heard you say you're gonna
Which
sleep
story?
Don't even lie about it.
The story.
What do you mean the story? Yeah, there's
The
The one I
many
tell
stories.
everyone.
The
Bees?
fence?
Yes.
Sure, I guess. Sure.
Okay. So back in like middle school, right, when me and Yuckle first became friends, he came over to my house with our other friend Ian. Oh wait, there's two stories in this. I'm gonna tell about the knife too.
And just
Oh,
a
God.
little heads up. I was 200. Oh, I was over 200 pounds back in middle
yeah,
school.
Yuckle was a little ball, like a little ball of Arabic. And
Hey, I was 100. I was 100. I was
We were-
180 in middle school. Okay, we're good.
we were
Gotta get
bored
up
at my house,
6'3".
so what we decided to do was go to the park. But I lived in a gated community at the time, so like going to the park, we
Softy.
had to climb a fence.
You
since we
lived in
didn't
the
have a key
opposite
to
of
get
the
out.
hood.
Yeah, basically. And you know, I was a little fit boy. I was like a spider monkey. I climbed the fence. My friend Ian, he
Yo,
climbed
you're like
under,
Nightwing.
yeah, no, he crawled under the fence, and he's a chubby boy, but he made it. And then Yuckle, little ball of Arab, he crawled under the fence too. His ass got stuck on the fence.
There was a little hole under the fence, which I thought I could crawl under. But then the bulge of my sticking out ass just got caught on the fence.
So
My
what I
whole-
had to do was I climbed over the fence again, and I pushed his ass through the fence, and Ian pulled, and he fucking he flung out, and it was really funny.
And I was wearing a white shirt that day, so
Yeah.
that whole thing was just
So
dirty as fuck.
his fucking shirt was all covered
Just
in like
shit
mud
all
and shit.
across my.
And then
them-
so we play at the park for a bit, and then we're like, fuck, we're bored. Let's go back to my house. So it's like 6 o'clock at that point, and we walk back to my house. Yuckle decides to crawl under the fence again, and he doesn't get stuck, which is kind of surprising. And then we get to my house, and I go shower. I come out, and they're playing Beyblade with my little brother.
Let it whip.
So what I decided to do was I joined them and played Beyblade. And my friend Ian was like, hey, the first person to get out, and he pulls out a fucking toy plastic knife. And then he says, gets stabbed by this plastic knife.
Oh, God.
Unknowingly, or not unknowingly, we knew exactly what we were doing. We all fucking ready up our launchers of Beyblade. And we go 3, 2, 1, let it rip, and all the fucking bays hit midair. All of them go inside the stadium, and Yuckles flies out. And then Yuckle just he looks at Ian with the most like terrified look as Ian pulls out a plastic knife from his pocket,
Oh, God.
and then swings it down onto his leg. His leg has a scar from it now, just because of how
It
like
still has.
Oh,
There's still the scar is
God.
there to this day.
his scar is still
Clear
there.
as day, man. Clear as day. It didn't even puncture through any skin. It just still a scar. I don't know how it got there.
Yo, you know, I can imagine one day you being in bed with some broad, and then all of a sudden, like, she's like, "Oh, where'd you get this scar? You must have done something heroic," and you have to tell her this story.
I lost it, Nam.
I wasn't
I got it,
Beyblade.
I let her rip too
Wait,
hard.
I have so many Yuckle stories. I just don't want to like throw you under the bus.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'll embarrass
Well, let's
myself
just
to
say I
make
let it
Yuckle
rip,
feel a little
and
bit
then
better with this next
Things
story.
didn't go that well.
Fuck the fun facts at this point. We're just telling stories. Like-
Yeah, no, dude, fuck yeah. Let's just tell stories.
So guys, I was once playing paintball with all my buddies on one of my friends' birthdays. It was the
Uh-huh.
tits. 'Cause we were all like 13 and we were all little shits. Still to this day, probably one of the best days of my life. But so we were all playing paintball, and my friend shot me in the nuts on purpose at one point, and I got super fucking angry. So later that day, I snuck up behind him while we were playing, and I grabbed his paintball gun out of his hand, and we took him hostage. And whenever he tried to talk or get up, we'd shoot him, just as revenge for shooting me in the nuts earlier. And so our other friend, we had a huge party, like maybe maybe like 13, 14 dudes. So one other dude or some other dudes were coming to save him. That was our game mode. And he's like, dude, Ben, I'm sorry. And I turned around and I shot him again. He just goes, you know what? Slams his paintball gun on the ground. He goes, fuck this hostage shit. I'm going to fucking kill you. And he sprinted so fast at me. And that was the most genuine I've ever heard someone tell me they were going to fucking kill me.
Oh god.
Came up and my other friend came up and like stopped him before he could get to me. He just goes, I'm fucking calm. He started losing his shit. Also, later that night was the hardest I've ever hit somebody, and it was still so brutal. Don't mind how I look in the chair. Just focus on the story.
You got more arthritis than me, man.
So this day was just like a fucking weird time. It ended very sadly, but the rest of it was like still, like I said, one of the best days ever.
I have the high ground, Ben.
No, but so that later that day, I had another friend who we all just fucking hated. Like we didn't know the kid who invited us that well. That's why he invited this douchebag. But all of us fucking hated him, and he just wouldn't acknowledge it ever. So they were all getting ready to pour some fucking like water on him while he was sleeping, and I was on the like they set up a mattress for me on the ground. I was laying there. I was like, they're all too busy giggling and not doing it. So I just wake up, grab the water, and dumped it on him. Like, dude, just let me fucking sleep. Shut the fuck up and just do it.
Oh god.
So this kid wakes up, is questioning. Like, I dumped like a fucking 2 drops of water on his face, like just enough to wake him up and piss him off, but not enough to like soak him for the rest of the night. This fucker grabs an entire can of Mountain Dew and waits till I fall asleep and dumps it on my head. I got up, and from the floor all the way to the chair he was laying on, I fucking uppercutted him so goddamn hard that my friend's dad from upstairs, he's like, what the fuck did you guys just break? I hit this man in the jaw so fucking hard. He got knocked out, and I went and gave him fucking 2 more while he was knocked out on the couch. And everyone in the party grabs me and ripped me off of him. It took the entire fucking room to get me to stop pummeling this kid. Because 2 people grabbed me, and I got up, and I still punched him fucking again. And so the rest of the people just dogpiled me. And while the entire party of people is holding me down, and this kid's just sitting on the couch like fucking dazed of what the hell just happened to him. He just goes, you know what, Ben, you're just lucky everyone's holding me back. Even though I was being held on the ground by the entire party, and he wasn't being touched on the chair he was sitting in. He's like, you're lucky you're holding me back. Motherfucker, I'm pinned on the ground. This day just keeps getting more and more wild. So we all eventually like laughed it off and went to sleep. And we wake up to fucking just frantic ass knocking on our door, like the front door, so goddamn loud. So the dad of the kid we were like whose house we were all chilling at, he goes up, opens the door. The kid who said he was gonna fucking kill me, like the dude that shot me nuts. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. Okay, I want to let you know we didn't have beef. It's just that it was a funny day. So his grandma busted in the door, like past him, made the dad fucking panic super hard. She ran down the stairs and she goes, Matt, we need to fucking go. Your dad just died. Like, and we're all half asleep because we all got woke up by that. We're like, what the fuck did you just say? And he gets up and it's the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard in my life when he looks up at his grandma and just goes, no. Like, he said it the saddest way I could think of. And it still bugs me to this day. Because that dude, he was like fucking 13, 14. He just lost his dad. It bugs me to this. It's super sad. It ended super sad.
Cheeks, think about this. Like, wait, was it the guy you held hostage?
Yeah, like I said, me and him are cool. Like, the dude I punched later that day, I fucking hated. But the dude that happened to, like, I fucking love him to death, and we're still friends to this day. But that was still just the most heartbreaking thing I've seen in person.
What a very
Think about this,
eventful night.
Cheeks. Like, think about
What?
this. In this, like, within a 24-hour span, you shot him in the nuts, and then
Or he shot
his
me in the
dad
nuts,
died.
and then I took
Oh, he
him
shot you in
hostage.
the nuts. But,
Took
like, you
him
kept on
hostage.
shooting him.
Yeah, and but we all were like goofing around the whole day. We were all laughing about it, but then he just got angry at one point, and then we all went back to the house, and we had I think that's the most I've ever eaten in one day too. Like we all went to the gas station with like $7 or $8 a piece, and just walked out with fucking bags of shit because we were ready. We were all just being little shits
Cheeks.
for the next half hour. And then we went back to his house, and that's when we watched The Grudge 3, which is a very shit movie. The opening's really good, but the rest of the movie is a fucking joke.
Like, I was about to say, like, that's the ultimate karma. Like, earlier that day, he goes, I'm gonna kill you! And then later on that day, he's...
Pasta, I'm being serious. Don't say it like that, man. Like,
I know, I'm sorry.
He's my buddy, and that was his fucking dad. That's fucked up, dude. But just, it still bugs me to this day, because he's such a good dude, and he did not deserve that to happen to him.
I know,
Don't
that's
ever say
saddening.
something
Like, I
goofy shit
imagine
like
him
that to me
saying
again.
no.
It was just very, very sad day. Like I said, the day before was like the best day of my life. Like, we all had so much fun. I had a
Don't
good
ever
ass
say
day.
some goofy shit like that to me again.
Oh, you want to hear that story? Oh, you want to hear that
Yo,
story?
let's tell that
You
story.
gotta hear this
Yuckle,
story.
sit
You gotta
down.
hear this story. This is my favorite story.
All right, back on some positive attitudes after a very sad story. So I used to work at the stock show, and that was just a fucking goofy, stupid ass job. I hated it because you got so greasy every single day. Like I literally made the federal minimum wage, not the minimum wage in my state, but the federal minimum wage. So $7.25 an hour. I would work
Yo,
12-hour
Cheeks is
days.
like an IKEA man now, just for reference.
Once every few weekends, I would work there. Like, it was not full time or part time. I was very part time where I'd go because they just host events so often. So it was sweet for high school because I'd go in, like, sacrifice one weekend of my life, and then just to get some money to buy some snackies. But there was this chef I worked with, he was so cool. I loved him, but he scared me all the time because I thought he was in the mob. Because he made outrageous amounts of money for the job he did. He drove a fucking Mercedes, like a brand new Mercedes. And he was a chef at the stock show. I was like, no fucking way is Richard making this much money. But he was always cool with me. So one time I was working at an event on Halloween. So his wife also works with us. And she was a cat for Halloween, and he was a dog. Like they did like a couple's costume. And so I go up to him and I go, you know what, Richard? For a dog, you're a pretty cool cat. He looks at me in his thick New Jersey accent and just goes, "Don't you ever say some goofy shit like that to me again." Like, dead serious. He didn't even say this as a joke. He just said, "Don't you ever say some goofy shit like that to me again." In a fucking mob voice. I didn't know whether to be laughing or be terrified. I've realized lately that it's the funniest thing anybody's ever said to me. But
The Jersey accent, man. The Jersey accent really helped.
don't you ever say some goofy shit like that to me again.
Like, that's our new saying. We stole that.
Pasta says it from time to time, and T says it way too often.
I know who you are, Ben. I am you.
I love telling stories because I like going into detail. So
Realizing
perhaps-
I'm a fucking boring person.
perhaps the funniest thing anybody's ever said to me.
All
It's
right.
not delicious, of course. Okay,
That is
let's
beautiful, Cheeks. All right, so
I
we
just doesn't
got
like any
T.
better.
We got T and Yuma We got their. I mean, wait. We got Tea and Cheeks. Their stories. So we need Yuckle and Yuma.
Not it.
I don't have any story.
Not it.
Yuckle, just do
I
it.
could
You
tell you
have
some
Fun fact.
babysitting
I don't
stories.
know what story to tell.
I'm gonna tell them the eyebrow
You
story
were on
where
Yucca.
like.
No.
Come on,
I
man.
ain't telling that story. I ain't
Hey,
telling a
let him
story
select the
that
story.
you don't know, but I'm trying to figure
Gotta let
one
him
out
know
right now.
first.
Yuma, you go first.
Dude, I've been there
the
for
honor.
your
I
like
gotta
entire
give me a
fucking
fun
life. You
fact.
can't say something I don't
Wait,
know.
are we doing
Oh,
fun
dude, I
facts
want to hear
or stories?
babysitting stories. Hey, you
Stories, basically.
Shut the fuck up.
Pasta fun facts or
Right now,
stories?
we're doing
Whatever you want.
stories. Like,
Whatever you want.
just whatever we
If
want
you
to
have
do.
something to talk about, let's talk about it.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I'm clinically depressed. I
Yo,
take
for
5
anyone
pills a
watching this
week.
podcast with a foot fetish, I'm taking off my socks right now.
Who is Jim Crow, and what does he have to do with birds? I mean,
Oh,
Alright,
God.
so
There's some
Yuma, your
goofy shit
story.
like that to
What's
me,
up with
I
your
guess.
story?
Let's see. Shoot. There's one I had before the one I was gonna tell. Oh! So, I didn't teach the baby this. It was his grandmother. But if you ask him, where are your
Sounds
boobies,
a lot
he will
like-
lift his shirt up. So,
Hey, you boys.
I was on the phone with someone, and I had jokingly said that, and he lifted his shirt up. Well, then, after a few minutes, he tried to lift my shirt up on the call. And I looked at him, I go, no, sir. Well, my
No,
mom had
sir.
my mom had brought my little cousin with her when she came to pick me up because we were going to take her to see Frozen 2. So the little boy that I babysit is 2 and my cousin's 4. So I was telling my mom what he had done about him trying to pull my shirt up. So he heard me say the phrase, "Where are your boobies?" He goes over to my little cousin and tries to lift her shirt up. We all yell at him not to do it. And he also has a thing where he doesn't like to wear pants or diapers. So we were about to leave. He goes, my mom stands up and he yells at her, like he goes, sofa, like he's trying to get her to sit back down on the couch. It doesn't work. So he goes to the kitchen, takes his pants off, takes his diaper off, comes back into the living room just strutting it, just sofa, like he was using it as a power move.
Yo, power
Just when
move.
in doubt, whip it out.
Whip it out, whip it out. You gotta teach him these lessons whenever he's young.
There was okay, so I know I'm gonna sound like a bad babysitter for this, but every
I
now
got a
and then,
babysitting story after this, dude.
oh yes. So I would take my VR headset when I would babysit, and I was on VR one day, and I was talking to a few friends, and I was calling them dicks. Well, he was playing with like his sister's squishies, and he brought one up to me, and he goes, "It's a dick, it's a dick," and he hands it to me. I go, "No, wait, no, that's a cake." And yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna get in trouble at some point.
You're a bad influence, Yuma. That's
I
good.
am. He knows how to go Super Saiyan. If you say go Super Saiyan, he'll sit there, he'll look at you, and he'll scream.
I just realized I have a story. I have a story that Yuckle doesn't know about.
Alright. I got one babysitting story. I got one.
Okay, you can go. You can go because yours is more on topic.
I consider myself a very good storyteller because I try to go into detail.
Yeah,
But,
you're
so
a very
I
good
did-
storyteller.
I used to babysit for 2 kids. One was named, or it was Matt and Zach. Okay, they're both cute kids. They're like fucking probably 13, 14 now. I was babysitting when I was 16. So one time they offered me the stock show I work at. They're like, "Yeah, we'll give you free tickets." And the lady I babysit, like I babysat them for, she's like, "Oh, I'll pay you if you're going to the stock show. Just bring them with you because I'm not related to the dude that runs the entire thing, but he like my brother's wife's dad, so it's like my uncle-in-law." So he owns the place, so I could go there anytime for any event, and I'd just be able to walk in because he just won't say anything. And so we went in there and we were walking around just chilling, and then there's the tractors and like little whatever the wagons are, like the golf carts and stuff that you would display for rednecks and such to get around their like farms and stuff. You guys get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So these kids, I didn't know what to do the first night I babysat him, and I was getting like fucking impatient trying to figure out something. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play Halo Reach with them. And they had the time of their lives to the point of where they begged their mom for an Xbox like nonstop until she gave it to them. And we all played. So we were playing Halo, and he was in a warthog, and he didn't know you could do this. So I run up and I kicked him out of the front seat. I go, yo, I just jacked your car, dude. And he goes, okay. So flash forward back to the time we're sitting in the stock show. They start hopping on off the tractors, and little one named Matt walks up to his big brother Zach and just goes, hey, because he was sitting in the driver's seat. He goes, hey, Zach, I'm gonna jack you off.
Oh, God, man.
He goes, hey, man, what are you doing? I'm jacking you off. And so I caught a look from some cowboy walking by, and I just looked at him with ultimate defeat. Like, I have no control of these children anymore. I don't know what to do.
Wait, did he say cowboy?
Yeah, some guy in just flannel shirt, cowboy boots, cowboy hat. Just looked at me because he heard what the kid said.
Oh, God, Yuckle left.
Zach, I'm gonna jack you off.
I have one more babysitting story. It's more kind of
Someone
Someone say
super loud,
cowboy.
dude.
Oh, what? That is not even a cowboy, bro.
I say, you're not a cowboy.
Alright, so I have a story.
Wait,
Alright,
wait, T, is it okay if I say this one? It's very short, I promise.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
We've got T off like 3 times in a row.
I'm sorry. It's just very short.
Third time's the
It's
charm.
babysitting. No, I'm sorry. But no, this actually happened recently, like maybe last week or the week before.
Yes.
So I had put the baby down for a nap, and like it was just me and him. And I know that cats, for a fact, cannot flush the toilet. Well, I heard the toilet, like, you know the sound it makes when it's refilling and stuff? I
Like
think
that?
Yeah, basically that. Well, I heard that sound out of nowhere. And it kind of freaked me out because, again, there's no one in the house but us, even though it's probably just a normal thing it does. Well, like maybe 10 minutes later, I hear the baby wake up and go, "Get out! Get out! Go away!" And then went back to sleep. And I was sitting there on the couch, like, because all the cats were in there with me. So I know it's for a fact none of the cats were in his room. It was awful.
Yo, he saw a demon,
Stories are
bro.
one I could get into for a long time. Okay.
He saw a demon. For real.
Can you tell me a
We do
story?
think that they're haunted by a ghost named, what was his name? Oh, shoot.
Man.
Yeah, my mom said
I
I
can't
used to
remember
see
right now.
angels whenever I was a little baby.
What?
Oh.
No,
Cool.
I said my mom told me that I used to see angels when I was a baby, you know? Like, basically,
babies
I
always
look
see
at
the
a
best.
wall, I look at a wall, and then I was laughing for no reason.
Randy.
Hey,
that
But,
was his
like,
name.
my granny was
like,
like,
speak.
oh, he's seeing angels!
I was having a really bad lag spike right there.
Alright.
Alright,
Oh,
yo,
Keith,
what's your
one of
ping?
your
What's your
crazy
ping?
I don't know. But okay, so I have a story. And Yuckle doesn't know this one, I think. So, like, in 8th grade, right? Me and Yuckle are part of this friend group that's like known around the school for being the most fucking stupid people in the school. Did stupid
Okay,
shit.
we
all
can
the
all
time.
see that just from knowing you.
We started a trend of you know how if you crush up Smarties and then you like
You
put it in your
was
mouth,
there.
you can like make
I
smoke.
was there.
No, yeah. You don't know what story I'm
Mm.
telling.
Oh.
Okay, so we had this trend going around that we started that we like puff Smarties and shit. And I took it to the extreme and I used to crush up like
Multiple packs.
like two dozens of fucking Smarties
two
in a
dozen
brown
stacks of
yeah.
fucking.
into a brown paper
God.
bag, and then I'd huff the bag and like puff out the smoke, and people would find it entertaining. But I did that
That's
so
awful
fucking
hardcore.
much that I got pneumonia.
Oh,
Right?
God.
And then 8th grade dance comes around because I guess time, and we all went, and I had pneumonia, and I just didn't tell anyone. 5 grade and ate like 2 packs of only strawberries and fruit snacks.
I hid those in my vest. I carried like 4 fruit snacks for you that night. Just bad. I looked very chunky because I had so many fruit snacks.
I was missing for like half of it because I was just in the bathroom throwing up.
That's where you were!
Sneaking food into a movie.
Dude, every like 5 minutes I was like, where'd Gabe go?
Kicked out of a fucking movie before.
Was that why you were gone for like half the fucking time?
You guys just keep reminding me of stories. Beautiful.
Hold on, I got a story now though.
Oh, dude, let's hear it. I wanna hear it.
You wanna hear this shit? Alright, Gabe was definitely there because Gabe and I just basically hang out all the time.
What the fuck is Gabe?
Me, Gabe, and our
T.
friend group.
Oh.
T. Me, T, and our friend group. Basically, it was.
Gabe.
It doesn't fucking matter. T, Gabe, it's the same
Alright,
fucking
bro,
person.
hold on.
Same person.
Hey, let him
But
speak.
it was Gabe's gonna get this one. It was during June, and as you know, I am Arab and I'm a Muslim, so basically I have to do this thing called the Ramadan. Do you know what that is?
Don't you just not eat from
Wait, hold on.
up to sundown or something?
Oh man,
No,
I'm
you
not
can't
sure if I should
eat
make
or-
the joke. Dang it, no.
I mean,
I
you
think-
can go ahead. I'll give you
Just
permission.
tell the
That's what I
story.
thought it
Tell the
was. I thought
story.
it
Tell
was
the story.
for an entire month.
Tell the story.
Okay.
And, like, on that
All right,
thing.
but basically, you can't eat or drink from sunset to sunrise, or basically sunrise to sunset. So basically, from like
That's
4
what I
a.m.
fucking
in the
said!
morning.
And you said I was wrong.
I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. Sunrise to sunset, and you could basically eat the whole night. And we break our fast at around 6 or 7 p.m. And one fateful Saturday night,
Fucking gorge
I was-
your ass for your
one fateful Saturday night, I was walking around the mall. I was parched as fuck. I was hungry as hell, and we decided like, hey, let's eat at a sushi place. And I'm like, okay, I'll break my fast there. So me, Gabe, and like 8 other people, I'm pretty sure, we all sat down. It was a nice dinner. It was a nice quiet dinner, and I was talking to my friends on the left. You know how I have my like head turning to the left, so I can't really see through my peripheral vision. My friends from behind me, they grabbed my drink, and like
It was
I
Dr.
think
Pepper.
it was Dr. Pepper, and they just poured a shit ton of soy sauce down that shit, and I didn't know. And I looked back at them. They were smiling, and one of them was cracking up. I didn't know what was going on. I thought they were just laughing, so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I turned back, and then 7 o'clock reached. It was my time to break it fast. I recited a line, and then I prayed, and then what's it called? I took a sip of my drink, and then they just all started fucking dying. And before I noticed, my drink was just basically soy sauce. I did not taste any Dr. Pepper. It was like carbonated. It was carbonated soy sauce. It was carbonated soy sauce. And I
grew up
looked
with a bunch
up.
of dudes my size. We played
being-
football
be-
together. We had a rule that you can't touch each other's food. It was one of our only rules. Is if someone paid for it, you can't touch it. Like you can't violate it if it's someone else's food or something.
I paid for like 3 dinners that night because I had
Here's the
money
thing,
and no one else
right?
did.
Here's the thing. Yuckle drank his thing, right? And then he was like, "What the fuck, guys?"
didn't-
And then he
I-
went to go
I
find the
drank-
waiter to get him another Dr. Pepper. And when the
I
waiter
went
came
to
back
the-
with another Dr. Pepper, we just put more soy sauce in his drink.
You just thought
I looked at the
Dr.
waiter.
Pepper was fucked up.
The waiter came to our table. I didn't look for him. The waiter came to our table, and I looked at him. I was like, "Sir, can you please fix my Dr. Pepper? It tastes like soy sauce." And the waiter just glances at my friends to the left of me, and then they're all cracking up and shit. He's like, "Oh, really? I'm so sorry. I'll get this replaced for you right away."
I'm so
And I was
sorry.
like, "I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go to the bathroom to clean up." I came back. My soy sauce. It still tastes like soy sauce. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Leaving your drink after you know they fucking it was.
Well, I didn't know the waiter's going to turn it that fast. It turned it like. And do you remember that it was my first? It was my first sip too, out of like a whole day of walking around. And you know how you have like that really like when you drink water, you feel refreshed. I felt the exact opposite when I drank that soy sauce, man.
You're like, man, I wish I could have just gone another hour.
It's
Like I was about to
basically
pass
become
out.
like it's basically become like a tradition for every time we go out to eat like at a sushi place. His drink just fucking turns into soy sauce mixed with whatever you're drinking.
I always
He
watch
started to order
No, I have to
waters
touch
just
it,
so we
okay?
can see if we put soy
Cardinals
sauce
sin
in his
against
drink.
football guys.
Yeah, I'm
Cardinals
assuming
sin
that
among
it's like
football dudes that
that's
eat
why
out
you guys
food.
never go to sushi restaurants anymore or something like that.
No, we go to sushi restaurants, but I just order water, man. Like I don't trust these guys around my soda anymore. I stopped drinking
Sprite or
soda because
something.
of them.
Yeah, you get a Sprite, dude. Get a Mountain Dew.
But,
Seven
guys,
up.
you want to hear a story about how I got kicked out of a movie theater once?
Sure.
Squish, you want to hear this? I know you want to hear this.
I do.
I
Yeah.
know she wants to hear. I want to hear some excitement. Squish, let's hear some hype. She just goes, hey! Oh god, I fell out of my chair. What the fuck?
I can't be loud.
Oh god.
Yuma.
Anybody
You want some
chill?
excitement? Cheeks, you want some excitement?
No.
That's how excited I
That
am,
was,
man.
that was like very minorly exciting. Whenever I sit back down, I fuck myself up again.
Trying to look for some more brothers bean things to send you.
Okay.
Wait, what's the time at? What's the time at?
Let me see. So we filmed for like 20 minutes beforehand. Right now we're at I don't know.
Not for people to
I've
miss
been
out
like
the
40
story on the
minutes. It's been
legendary
like 40.
bear.
Oh, it's at 48 minutes. So
The
we have
story
like
of the
we can
legendary-
record for like 28 more minutes, and then we'll just do
Okay.
45 minutes.
But guys, okay.
45
I
minute
switched to a smaller
podcasting now.
skid, so I stopped fucking up. I'm just gonna stand on the chair. So,
Wait before you continue, Cheeks. I just kind of realized that everybody on this podcast is way more interesting than me, and it hurts. It hurts deep inside.
Honestly, staying here, Pasta.
I've been
Pasta,
quiet the whole
anything
time.
interesting
Pasta, you've
about
been the
me?
one keeping the
Hey, I
No,
just-
you've
conversation.
been talking about your soy sauce.
Yeah,
guys,
well,
I asked about
what was I
stories
talking
whenever I
about for
run
the
out,
past
and then
30
you guys
minutes?
always give me fucking ideas on more stories that I remember.
Cheeks, we ain't
Like,
stopping. Go
honestly,
ahead,
nothing
man.
super
Let's hear it.
like
Alright, guys.
crazy has happened in my life.
Pasta. 2013. I was going to see. So my buddy Ryan, my buddy Conrad, and my brother Adam. We were all going to see World War Z. And we were freshmen in high school, so we had no money at all. So I put a Dr. Pepper in my fucking pocket. So no, I had 2 Dr. Peppers in each pocket, like one in each, so we could all have something to drink while we were watching the movie. And when I was walking to the car, it was the same dad. Like it's the dude. Conrad is the same dude like whose house we're staying at when I punched that guy in the fucking nose or the jaw. And his dad is the coolest motherfucker you'd ever meet. But when I was walking to the car because he drove to my house to pick me up, he goes, "Man, you look like you have elephantitis,"
I'm like,
which is a disease when your fucking balls just become like literal bean bags on under your legs. Like it's a horrible disease. Like it's when your literal balls just get too huge. So
yo, how is it
middle of
that
the
like
movie-
sometimes like I'm not sure if this is TMI, but like sometimes my balls will be hanging like in a grocery bag, and then sometimes it'll be like sandpaper.
yeah, but
I
What's
don't
up
know
with
what
that?
you mean by that.
Hot and cold.
but-
Well,
hot and
sandpaper,
cold.
man. I'm made out of sand, and I don't even feel that, man.
but
No, I mean like it's just like all shriveled up. You know, I don't know what's going on.
Your balls.
Yeah,
So
I
that
don't
was-
have those problems.
that was
Yeah,
the
you must
story the
raise it-
whole
you must
Oh
car.
raise
yeah,
Golden
well, no, yeah.
My friend joked about elephantitis. Me and my friends were just dying laughing the whole fucking time. So we all watched the movie. We're about halfway through. We're in World War Z when all the zombies just like right before all of them start piling up on the wall, like the scene that was in
Oh
all
yeah,
the
no, I
trailers.
remember that scene before
And
the
you guys-
b-
Conrad leans over to me. He goes, "Hey Ben, what if this all started because of your elephantitis. Dramatic timing. And as soon as he said it, the scene where they all start climbing the wall happens. We just look at him trying to maintain a straight face, and I just go, then the zombies would be slower. And we could not fucking stop laughing for the next fucking 20 minutes. And the lady in front of us told us to shut up at least 3 times. And we're like, we're sorry, we just can't stop. She went and got someone from the movie theater, and he fucking came and kicked us out. He came and kicked us out. He was cool about it. He was like, yo, you could just come to the next showing. Just, like, there was a total Karen type lady. We weren't laughing that loud. We were all just giggling, and we couldn't stop. But since then, me and him have tried to make a movie where we just do that exact same thing. Where that's the whole punchline of the video. Just what if this all started because of your elephantitis? That shows the scene of the zombies climbing up the wall. Just zooms in dramatically on my face. I just go, the zombies would be slower.
Yo, actually, I think I have a story.
Oh,
Kind of reminded me.
You guys always remind me of more stories. I'm just. It doesn't alternate between who tells stories. It goes me, someone else, me, someone else, me, someone.
Did you have your life is interesting, Cheeks, man. That took me like 20 minutes just to think of that one.
He's just the oldest. He's the oldest. That's why.
I inspire stories. I am older. I am like 3 years older.
Okay.
I
I have a story. guys.
My
Fine.
phone's
I
on the
need
floor,
an
like 10
avatar
feet
with
away somehow.
arms in order to tell you guys about it. All right. So basically,
Hold on, let me film you. Or let me show your avatar. Just so I can see this. Okay.
all right. So basically, one day, me and my uncle Devin, we were driving I don't know where we were driving. We were just going on a trip somewhere. And as we were leaving the neighborhood, there was this lady walking her dog, and he had the window open. So I literally leaned outside. I don't know why I did this. I leaned outside and I pretended I had a gun in my hand. I was like, and the lady got scared out of her mind. And my uncle's like, "What are you doing?" That's all I really gotta say.
Well, what the fuck, Pasta? So, why would you do that to the poor lady?
I don't know. I know I had to go apologize to her later on that day, but that was it.
Oh my god, I've never heard Cheeks laugh like that.
The edibles just kicked in.
He really has that Joker gas with him right now.
He's not holding onto his fucking controls anymore. He's just kind of.
What's so funny?
I need to stand for the rest of the interview.
What?
Hold on, pause. I'll send it to you.
Oh.
Hey Siri.
On that?
Hey,
While he's
Siri.
doing that,
Memes.
me and Yuckle, we used to walk down to house after school during the 8th grade.
Tell
This
him
is
the
around
soda
the
incident.
time. No. Wait, there's a soda incident?
Remember when my mom drove by?
No.
On the ground.
Okay, so,
Somewhere.
we were walking down one day, right? And we have a bunch of adventures just from walking down, because I was a fucking manipulative. And, what's it called? We were walking down one day.
Yuma, why are you sending me a
We
video?
decided to buy a bunch of
I sent you a
fucking
video.
fart bombs. You remember this, Yaya?
Oh my god, how could I not think of the story?
Dude, but
Y'all need
Before we
you guys need to pay attention to this story, please. It's really fucking good.
before we did that,
Alright.
we used to walk down with these girls, and they were pretty cool. They were part of our fucking stupid group. They were addicted to snorting lemon or some shit like that. And For some reason, they got Yaya hooked on it, and he was like snorting lines off of people's backpacks. And then there was this one time they fucking dropped the lemon powder thing on the floor, and Yaya sniffed it off the floor.
I
And
snorted a rock.
fucking shoved into his nose.
What?
That
Okay,
shit
okay.
hurt, man.
And then
How do you guys handle
Hold
the
up, hold up.
pain?
Well, I've been snorting
Wait,
lemon
okay,
powder
let me
for
finish
a
my story.
good,
Let me finish my story. Shut the
Oh yeah,
fuck up.
I'll let you finish.
Shut the fuck up, Yaya.
For a good,
Okay, okay, so there was a day where we bought fart bombs and we weren't those girls, and for some reason Yaya thought it was a good idea to throw 3 fart bombs at at 2 girls that were just sitting and tying their shoes. And I have never
Oh
he
God.
fucking threw it and then ran, and I have never seen Yaya run before that.
Was he still a ball of dough before that,
Yes, he
or?
was still a ball of dough.
Wait, is that all to the
He didn't
story?
lose his
Yeah.
dough. Huh?
Is that all to your story? Because you forgot
Yeah,
one of the
yeah.
parts. Oh
Well,
my god,
that's
okay. You forgot the main part where, what's it called? I bought 2 fart bombs because it was 2 for the price of 1. And the first one I threw at the girls. The second one, I threw it at Gabe, and Gabe didn't notice. And I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't it blow up? And I walked closer to it, and it fucking blew up right when I got over it. And it got all over my backpack and my leg. And I was wearing shorts, like I just smelled like fucking fish and egg yolk.
He fucking threw it at me, bounced the bag, and right back at him. And when I turned around, it fucking exploded in his face. That was really funny.
Honestly, how do you guys like whenever snorting things? How do you guys deal with the pain in your nose? Because like I can't do
so,
it.
Like I was saying,
I tried it with salt.
I've been doing this for many years.
Don't give him
I'm
advice on how to snort
professional.
pigs. He doesn't need it.
Oh. Yeah, good point. I'm a Christian boy.
Oh,
You know, I
my,
went to
my
this.
friend got suspended from school once for something that he did in the cafeteria. This one's short. Okay, this is a short story.
Why do you have so many fucking
Mellow.
stories, man?
Man,
He's
I
older
don't
than
know.
us.
Like, you guys just keep reminding
He's a
me of shit.
boomer.
Motherfucker,
I'm just
I
kidding.
am 3
Chiefs,
years
you're not
older
a
than you.
boomer.
Maybe even
Sorry,
2.
okay, tell your fucking story.
Motherfucker, why is my mouth not moving anymore? Did I crash? What
No,
happened?
no, your mouth is moving.
No, you're
No.
good.
Well, anyways, let me tell you guys a good old story.
Go right ahead. Let's hear it.
All right, so I went to this thing called Encouraging Word Prayer this Sunday. Basically, what they do is they talk to God, and they're like, "Okay, what is this dude?" And they give me encouraging words. And then one of the words they said was "pure of heart," and I was like, "Okay, that's a lie." That's all I really got to say about it.
You reminded me of a story. So, like, my parents are super Catholic, right? Because I come from a fucking Asian family. And, they sent me to this, like, Catholic youth group that meets every other Sunday. And they were on this topic of hell. And I didn't really care about the topic at all, and I was on my phone the entire time. But when it got to me, like, we went into these circles, they were like, what do you place where you know you're not with
Can you repeat
God," and all
that?
Oh, fucking God. Where did I cut off?
Sorry, you said something about the topic of hell, and then they asked you, and then you
Yeah.
cut off.
And then they asked
Cheeks
or-
is
yeah, they asked
Requesting
you,
invite.
what do you think of God? Like, or not God, what do you think hell is? And then people would be like, oh, I think it's where you're not with God, and like, shit like that, like what adults I hear. But then when it got to me, I just said the Nether from Minecraft.
So as I was saying before, so really,
Yeah.
That's exactly what I fucking imagine when I hear hell, too, man. I just imagine the Nether, and when I
Yeah,
imagine
no, I
heaven,
just did fucking Nether from Minecraft.
for heaven, I think of the Aether in Minecraft, dude. I don't know why. Just the first thing that comes to mind. Cheeks, what
You know,
happened?
whenever I think of Minecraft, I think of I don't know what I think of. Man, I was about to say whenever I think of hell, I think of I don't know, man. I just think of like, you know, it's pretty like they have Chipotle down there.
It's like
Plus, I
still
want to let you
don't
know,
know.
if you
Think
ever
of
say
my
something
asshole
that
after
fucking
Taco
stupid
Bell.
again, I'm gonna get out of this chair and beat the fuck out of you.
You gonna take my place as the host of the VRLads podcast?
Hell
Glad you
yeah!
didn't hear what I said, Cheeks.
Would I have been disappointed with you as my daughter?
His father.
Okay.
Said when I think of how I think of my asshole after Taco Bell. I'll leave. I'll leave.
None of our business.
Get
But
the fuck out of here! Okay. No,
You just disowned your daughter.
I was gonna
You
tell
just
my
disowned
short story.
I
daughter.
have another one.
Where's my daughter? Get your ass in there, you fucking coward.
This is your computer. It's your computer one.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
No, but guys, I got my short story, my very
Not
short
that
one.
one. No, the first one. The first
The fuck?
fucking computer story.
What?
Cheeks, you've told enough stories. You can tell this one after my story. Alright.
Okay,
Alright. So
tell it then.
so like I said before, I used to walk down to Yuckle's house every day during 8th grade. And pretty fun. And like we used to just go up to his room and do our homework and like fucking watch YouTube and shit. But one day he decided to go downstairs to get food and he left his computer unlocked. So what I did was I downloaded like gigabytes of midget porn and like really bad Yoshi and Mario cosplays.
I could
Are you
like-
sure
never
you guys
find
are
it.
friends? Because you sound like you're fucking douchebags to each other.
Dude, what do you think? I never let him on my computer anymore. I always close my computer when I leave my room.
Wait, let me
Why
finish.
do you
Let me finish.
torture your friends?
Let
You
me
don't sound like
finish.
much of a friend.
Yeah, why do you torture your friends?
Let me finish the story. Alright, so I downloaded like gigabytes of porn on his computer, and it significantly slowed down his computer to the point where it was even shittier than my computer, and my computer is a fucking toaster. And like, yeah, his computer got
It's
so
literally
bad
just
that he
got
had
a
to
toaster.
fucking factory reset his entire computer because of how slow it was and how
I
good at
didn't
hiding the porn.
I don't know where
was.
he put it. Where'd you put it in the end? Where did you put it?
Dude, honestly, I don't remember.
In a
Like,
file that
even-
says midget
even
porn.
if I
He's like,
wanted
nah,
to
it's
tell
not.
you,
He's
like-
put it there.
No, before, even if I wanted to tell you, I fucking couldn't. Like, there was a point where even I was looking for it on your computer because I just didn't remember where I put it.
You guys don't even know that how much work I had to do. I had to go through like 3 hours of files, and I was just it was a dead end. I couldn't find anything on my computer. I don't know where he put
Yo,
it.
like-
It's-
Wait, hold up. How are you guys able to play Rainbow Six if you guys have toaster computers?
Well, my
I
computer
play
is
it
a
on
fucking
shit
machine.
graphics.
Guys, we're all
Nice.
gonna start a Minecraft.
I
run.
his Rainbow
It looks like
Six-
I'm playing on Roblox.
Yeah, his Rainbow looks like Roblox, man.
Alright,
Mine's good though.
Does it
My
run
computer's
well?
like a machine.
It runs alright. It's not a.
that's good.
I wish I could say it runs good, but I can't. I can't lie.
All right, I got my last story. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Why are you guys both penguins now?
Did I fucking ask you to give your opinion or question me? Continue
Okay,
fucking
so
spelling
basically
shit fuck
one
up.
or two. One or two. I have two stories.
Do both at the same time. Just
Both?
overlap your voice.
I don't think I can do
No,
that, Chief.
Just do one then two.
Okay, so basically
And then Cheeks tell your story after that. And then that's
Okay.
how we'll end the podcast with a story from Yuma.
Okay, so basically,
I got a story.
basically all the funness in my life happened in middle school. That's why it's gonna be a middle school story again. Basically, we had these things called the coyote runs, which is basically a mile. It's a mile of just every student running, like for like a fitness like grade or some shit like that. And I was with all my friends like that. And all my friends were in a different like class. I was in the same class as Gabe, so I was right by Gabe when we started the mile run. And let me add this to Cheeks of Gabe being a douchebag. This was a totally douchebag move. When we were about to start the thing. How it starts, the mile, how it starts is one of the teachers has a horn, and they blow the horn, like at a random. And I asked Gabe right before that happened. I was like, Gabe, will you stay with me? Because I want a partner to run with, you know? Because it gets boring running by myself because I'm that fat. And he was like, sure thing, pal. I'll run with you. And then not even like 3 seconds after, the horn like just rang, And I remember this very clearly. Gabe slapped me in the back of the head, took off, and I fell down to the floor. And everyone just... I toppled on the floor. And everyone was running. Everyone was... I was dead last. Even behind the fattest black dude in the class, man. And I was behind him. I was like faster than like 10 people, but then I just went to dead last and I got like an F for that grade, I'm pretty sure. Cause they thought I was just they thought I was relaxing at first because I was just sitting on the floor, but then they were like, "Yaya, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Someone slapped me," and they're like, "Go run!" And then that's the end of my story. Just Gabe slaps me and runs off, and I fell on my ass.
I used to
What's the
do that
second
when we
story?
walked down too. What's the second story?
Just runs away when we walk. Oh, the second story. No, Cheeks kill first, then I'll tell my story.
Okay, mine's very short. So one of my friends got suspended from school for this. So we were all just sitting in lunch and chill, and he pulls out his bag of chips, and it was like really, really full with air. like it was about to burst if you put any pressure on it at all. So he's like, "Hey guys, watch this." And he just goes, "I'm sick of all you fuckers bullying me." And he slaps it and makes it fucking explode as loud as possible so it sounds like a gunshot just went off in the cafeteria. And like the fucking school resource officer ran into my cafeteria full speed like, "What the fuck was that?" Like ready to get in a gunfight with some guy, but no, it was just some douchebag slapping a bag of chips as hard as he could.
Hey, did the chips open?
Yeah. It opened and exploded. I was sitting across from him, so it fucking flew out and hit me.
Alright.
Free
Yeah,
chips,
tell your
man.
story now.
He should have just said fucking he's got a gun or something simple, but no, he's got to go, "I'm sick of all you fuckers bullying me."
Fuck.
He made
You
it
just said
even
that right
worse.
after. All right, y'all want to hear my story now? What the?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Am I tripping on LSD or something like that? What the fuck?
Oh, man.
Y'all just came. Can I get a penguin avatar too?
You want to be man? I need to make a
Nah, I'll stick with
Iranian
it.
skipper.
for me. You didn't make
Make me an
the
Iranian
skipper.
skipper. Give me a hijab on give me a hijab on skipper. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm planning on doing.
You'll
Alright,
make
you
him
want to
a
hear my
Honda
last story?
skipper.
You want to hear my last story?
Yeah, tell your last story.
I'm gonna put like a
This
vest on.
happened like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Ow.
And it was the beginning of the new semester, and like I have AP Computer Science, which I know it sounds gay, but I had to join it for an AP. So I joined AP Computer Science because I heard it was an easy class, and I joined it. And what's it called? The second semester, it was fine the first semester, nothing went wrong. Then the second semester came, and my teacher, Mr. Frost, he had a bunch of new rules. He had like no going on your phones. He made us hold up our phones in the front of the class. No eating. That's the main thing that made me mad. No eating or drinking. Even water. We couldn't drink water in the class because of the computers.
That's a yikes for me, dude.
So then, me and my friends, we were like at the very end of the week, we're like, okay, guys, on Friday, because I know everyone in the class. Everyone, like, it's a small class of 20 people, so everyone knows each other. So it's basically like a really friendly class. Everyone had a plan to bring one of the most okay, hold on, I forgot to explain this part. My teacher, Mr. Frost, when he hears stuff like bags like go off, like chip bags and like noises like that, he gets mad about it and he usually sends us to office for it. So we made a bet. We're like, whoever can survive the longest eating chips in the class wins. And what's it called? A lot of lives were lost because of this, and a lot of them were sent up to the office. But what's it called? Basically, our goal was to bring one of the loudest foods or drinks we know. I kept it simple. I brought a Lay's chip bag. Speaking of which, I brought a Lay's chip bag. And a lot of people upped their game. Some people brought sodas. Some people brought like 2-liter Cokes. Some people bought like large coffee bags and stuff like. Well, some people even bought Pop Rocks, and I'm like, how's that supposed to be loud? But they're like, you'll see. I was like, okay. So basically, it went off in like an order. We were all going from left to right because the classroom was I don't know how to explain it. It's just we just went left from right down to up, basically. and I was in the middle. So I was going in the middle with all my other friends, and my friend right behind me, he brought a soda. He brought the 2-liter soda, and what's it called? He had to go to the bathroom real quick. So before we started, he said, "All right, I guess I'm gonna go to the bathroom." And basically, what's it called? Everyone in the class shook up his soda.
Oh my god!
Everyone shook it up, and it went by really fast. Everyone opening up their bags and their sodas. Like we were like next in no time. It's been like 4 minutes. My friend, like 2 people already been sent up to the office because he heard the chip bags. 2 people already been sent up, and what's it called?
Oh
now,
god!
It's my friend Danny. He had the 2-liter Coke, and he was like, it was his turn. So what's it called? My friend Danny was like, "All right, guys, here it goes." He opens it. The bottle fucking explodes everywhere. All on the computers, all on the students, all the chairs. It went on the fucking ceiling light, man. It went everywhere.
Oh,
My
good.
teacher fucking looked up, death stare at Danny. Cause he like what the teacher was seeing, he was just seeing a tall, lonely black kid holding a half-empty 2-liter Coke, and his face was just priceless. I couldn't stop laughing. My turn was next, so I quickly hid my chips bag. My turn was next. I quickly hit my chips bag so he wouldn't see it. Everyone hid their shit, so we were done after that point. Danny, he looked at Danny. He was looking at dead in the eyes. He legit said in the quietest voice, "Danny, please come to my desk right now." And Danny, his stupid ass, brought the 2-liter Coke with him, and he started drinking it when he was talking to the teacher. The teacher was so mad that he had like 3 security guards come to the office and drag Danny out of the classroom. Danny was willing to go, but they dragged him out of the classroom. Because my teacher was said he was harassing the students or something like that. And then that's the last I've heard of Danny. He's not in the class anymore. Everyone else came back with, but
yeah, that reminds me of a story. Oh man.
How are we on time?
I remember some stories.
Two stories. Me and then Yuma. That's that, and then we ended there. All right, so let me tell you guys. My physics teacher, actually, I have a physics engineering like hybrid class where we build robots and learn about physics and all that. We're building a robot right now. It's actually really cool. Anyways, what happened was in the beginning of the year, teacher, he's a real cool dude. He's a nerd, you know. And what happens is he's like, "Oh, by the way, we can't have any food in here. Like, I know you guys want food, but this classroom is has 2 entrances. One is inside and one is outside. So like the ants will come from outside and get the food. It's happened before. It was not pretty. I don't know who did it, but someone was mad at him for that. I'm assuming because the next class period I had, I walked in and I looked behind me and in the desk was 2 quesadillas with ants all over them. And I was like, Mr. Physics teacher, I need you to check this out. And he got real sad that day. It was depressing, really. Yeah, that's my story.
Just depressed
Wow.
of this quesadillas.
No, he just he had the saddest look on his face whenever he looked at it. He was like, "Oh, oh man." I felt bad for him though, because he had to clean that up. No, legit.
What the fuck?
It was saddening. I don't know who did it though. To this day. Yeah. You can go ahead and tell your story.
So
This is the finishing story, everybody.
It's not going to be worth it. I'm just going to say that now.
Let me give the closing. I'll give a closing
So,
story if it's not.
in history-
Okay, give a closing story if it's not worth it. I'm talking to Cheeks, not you.
Oh, wait. So am I not allowed to say my story now?
No, let's just say your story. It's just
Okay,
depending on if
sorry.
it's worth it.
Okay. So in my history class, a lot of the time we would have to make video projects. And I was teamed up with my normal friend group. in that class, and there was just one student of color in my group.
Whoa! Of
Well,
color?
we shouldn't
What
have done
color? Red?
Shut up! You know what I mean. Because she wasn't black. I don't know. I can't remember what she was, but she wasn't white.
Oh,
She was a
she wasn't
minority.
white. Yo.
What was that supposed to mean?
That
What was that
sounds like
supposed
some
to-
white supremacist like ideology. You
Oh,
might.
yeah.
Suckle, no. We were
Hold on,
suckle.
so since it was history,
What the fuck you talking about?
hold on, no.
What the fuck you talking about? Person of
Okay,
color?
also, real fast, we didn't mean for this to happen.
You're on PC and we're not.
But in the
you
video,
can't
there
see
was
it.
a
Oh,
scene
shit.
where we
Hold
were
on.
supposed to describe like something with slaves, and she offered to be the slave. And we forgot to edit this. But there is just a random clip in the middle of the movie or the video of one of us hitting her with a jump rope, and there was no edit to like to turn it off.
Oh god! Oh my god!
It's just like this white girl beating the shit out of this other girl without any indication of what's going on.
Oh god!
Because you just see her on the ground going like this, like, no.
It's just whacked hard as fuck.
The teacher never
I think that
questioned if
T
you
and I
didn't
are
say
very
a word.
offended.
What?
We're both people of color. That kind of hurts, Yuma. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I'm purple, man. What the fuck?
Hey, I'm-
So for my film class, right? We had my teacher.
Oh
he,
god!
like, he's
I'm
like an
getting a clip
underground
right now of a
fucking,
video project me and my friends made, and we added a blooper reel that was unbelievably funny. So I'm
But,
going to
okay,
get that
so-
real fast.
My teacher has like an underground market for food because the school doesn't want him selling food, but he does it anyways. And fucking his advanced students, his advanced film class. We ditch class to go to his class all the time. So every time we do that, he has us do his fucking slave work and like carry the Arizona cases and put them in freezers and like stack them and shit. And one day while we were doing that, I started singing a slave song, and everyone that was helping joined in, and we're all like, "We work for Cataldo, he doesn't pay
God.
us. Stuff. I'm a slave now. Man, this sucks."
Oh. Yo, actually, that kind of reminds me of another thing that, like, okay, basically at my school, like, we have this, like, we have track and field, right? And during track and field, they have this snack bar where we serve like all kinds of stuff. You know, I'm basically like second in command at the snack bar because I'm the grill man. I like make the burgers. I make all the good stuff, and I make some of the craziest things too. One day I got an idea where I was like, hey, you know what? Why don't I just bring my why don't I just bring this like frying pan and just make stuff and sell it? A day later, I got sent to the office and they're like, don't do that.
Wait, what happened? You bought a frying pan? Or what?
I brought like one of those like one of those grills where you can like just plug it in and turn it on.
Oh, those?
Yeah, and then I made like quesadillas for $5, and then I got shut down.
How much business did you get?
I got $5.
Oh,
And then I made
really?
like 3
Only five?
quesadillas.
Did you pay yourself for a quesadilla? Like, damn, I'm hungry.
Oh, I wish. It'd just be an endless loop of $5.
Can
I
tell a quick story, like 30 seconds right before Cheeks? Can I, real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, so basically it was sophomore year of high school, and I was just walking into the bathroom one time, and it was during lunch, so the whole bathroom just filled with a bunch of people, you know, vapors, the cool kids, the skater kids, you feel me? And then everyone was gathering around there's this one kind of group, and then you just hear screaming from the group, like it's just a bunch of screaming. You can hear these 2 distinct voices, one very white, one very black. And they were fighting, and it actually sounds like they were fucking hitting each other and shit like that. And when I was just walking in, and I heard it from like outside, I was just walking, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I see the white guy get punched across the bathroom, and like he slides right by me. And then the white guy gets up, walks away and says, "Fucking," you know what he said.
Yeah. Okay,
Said
I get
that.
the picture.
And then he starts running, the white guy. Then the black guy comes out of nowhere. He jumps over the crowd. He's like, "Hey, yo, what'd you say?" And then he starts fucking running after the white guy. And then that's the last time I've heard of them. But that was just a very crazy, like 30 seconds of my lunch. And then now you could go Cheeks.
I think Cheeks is dead.
All right,
Well,
thank you for
what's
watching this
going on?
podcast.
Thank you for
My
watching
name
this
is
podcast. We
YuckleSuckle.
went way over time.
I'm getting my. Me and my friends.
Let me end this off on a backflip. Let me end this off on a backflip.
Documentary in high school, and I took a.
Thing I was telling you about.
Yo, backflip,
Alright.
Gabe.
Thank you for
I
watching.
sent it.
Goodbye.
Look at your
Backflip.
Snapchat.
Okay, but I have
Stop it.
no other stories.
Stop it yet.
Except I would like to say that I am very grateful
Stop
to
it.
have every single one of these people inside my life recently.
Stop it. Yeah.
VR chat has been great. These guys
Awesome.
have been good friends.
Wow,
Okay,
nice.
Indeed.
Okay, you know what?
Because thing
Fuck
is,
up, Yuckle, not you.
expect a lot more of this in the future. I'm gonna try to upload this episode this
No, I
weekend.
want you guys. Okay. End the filming, and then I'm gonna show you some. I'm
Okay,
gonna send
okay.
it to the Discord.
All right, let's do an outro. This has been VRLads, episode 1. Thank you everybody for watching. Yuckle, get on and take a bow.